overwhelmed in real estate? 2 hands up. And your feet, right? Duh, all of us. This business is impossible sometimes. And so when you are overwhelmed, what I do in coaching, again, is take us all the way down to minimum standards. And the easiest one is, what is your word? Remember your word. Don't lose the plot when you get overwhelmed. But, go ahead.
Mine's reset. Last year was a different year for me, so this year is time to reset and get back out there and reset.
Okay. Let me hear one more. Anybody? Anybody over here? Grab that for me. Oh, do you want to go Islam?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go Islam and then somebody on the stairs. Yeah.
For me, this year is more focus.
Focus.
Yeah, I've been having too much fun jumping from one thing to another, so I just need to focus.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Shiny objects.
Does anybody have a off the charts novelty drive like I do? Okay, yeah. Okay, what does that look like? Oh, I've been to probably more countries and places than I even can remember a list for you, right? I am the friend that if I haven't done something, they're like, Marissa will go, ask her. She hasn't tried it, she'll do it. Okay, what I have learned there, which I love being that person, but that has to exist in my personal life, not in my professional life. Because if I'm jumping around all over the place, it can't work. So that's another pattern that I see is like, my novelty drive, shiny object. Well, Amy said Zillow works, and Kimberly says I should be on Instagram, and then Randy says that she only does sphere and handwritten cards, and you're like all over the place. So literally the first thing we're doing on Monday, well, one, I'm gonna have you put your real life sales pipeline in front of your face, because we gotta look at our paychecks every day. The second is make your shiny objects list. And so the shiny objects list, guys, you just write down and I call it the not right now list. So anything that sounds great that you wanna do in your business, for 90 days, we write it down. We plant it. It's a parking lot for 90 days. And then on day 91, you look back at it and then decide if it's still a good idea for you. So that one, any of my novelty drive folks, that's a hack for you. And the reason I came up with all these identity system structure stuff, guys, I am my worst student, okay? I had to create all of this stuff for me, so and battle test it. And so that's why I know all this stuff works. So let me get one more on the word of the year.
My word for 2026 is elevate.
Oh, no, what's that mean to you?
Elevate to me means, just elevating the business, elevating the connections I make, relationships I build, just elevating it. That's essentially the way I'm looking at it for 2026.
All right, one more. I love this. One more. And then I lied. One more.
Mine was intentional. Just to be intentional in everything, but especially in my business, I've always been so intentional in the past. So.
I like it. All right. Who knew that we could do you do your entire business plan in like 10 minutes? That is Marissa Boyle coaching. Right? Okay. So, I will repeat this. 11:45. If there are people that couldn't be here in this room that should be, because kids and late start, you can text them. Offer stands. Anybody that signs up for coaching that we start Monday, $100 credit. Anybody that has already signed up in the last 60 days, shoot me a DM on school, and that will be honored for you guys as well. But action takers, I love you guys. The one-page business plan is proof that this stuff doesn't need to take forever, right? The task will expand to the time you allow. So do not let the task take forever. Because real estate is the servant to our personal life. A lot of agents get that wrong. But real estate and business is all about serving our personal lives. Okay? So don't forget that. All right, Matt Anthony, and sign it. So take these home, guys. And where's Mandy? Mandy's going to email these out.
I will.
So you can make these messaging.
Anything.
So you can grab, I think we got some extra copies, but maybe we'll send these out. Write them down, guys. So take some time with this. Like, go get a coffee, sit down and think about it, okay? Best in the city thing. Did that trip anybody up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. Of course. So think about it. Figure it out. What do you want to be known for? And then you let AI and SEM. All right, Matt, come up here, please. So planning in 2025. You partner with a lot of agents on events. So, 2 questions for you. Ready? And thank you, by the way. Do you guys understand how much these events make my life easy? You know how much I'm always like, Mandy, Tyler, I love you. And they're like, okay, Marissa, we got it. Like Matt, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just nice. It's nice to have community and get everybody together, but it's a lot. Like, who's getting the house? Who's getting the coffee cart? Who's the sponsor? Where everybody parking? You know, what are we talking about? Who's on the panel? And so, Matt, they all help me organize all this, so it's very much appreciated. And I want to know this from you. So, what do you see that slows deals down when agents don't have clarity and structure?
It's a lot of the upfront education. So a big part of my business is we do a group chat when you have a new buyer, and I'm getting the overall, do you have money? What's your credit like? You'd be surprised.
That's a choke point. We call there's 3 choke points in your sales funnel, and
Yeah.
no money, no motivation. It's
Yeah.
one of those.
I'm a very honest guy. I shared a story the other night that some people thought was great. Some people were like, wow. I was like, it was just honest, right? But yeah, we're checking, we're doing a full application, obviously. And then I'm going back with the agent. I copy the agent on everything I send to the buyer, including a video, literally going over options, what I think is best for them. But then I let them ultimately make that decision, and that comes with a pre-approval. So if you do all of that up front, then you can go out, drive your car, and not feel like you're wasting time, wasting gas. We know, some buyers will make you do that. So my goal up front is to alleviate all that stuff, give you a clean approval to let you know that you're good. But yeah, a lot of the relationships over the years, 2024, I had my biggest year, and I said, I'm going to get rid of I had some agents that were just wasting my time, right? So I was like, hey, you're not doing this correctly. You're driving an hour and a half, 2 hours for these Zillow leads or whatever leads they were getting. And I said, it's not working out, because my team, including like processors and underwriters, were struggling to get this thing approved because none of this stuff was explained. So it's really doing a lot of the work up front. That way we have the clean transaction, everybody's happy, connecting with our insurance partners to make sure that goes smoothly and they're educated on that part as well. Because a good experience drives more referrals.
Yeah.
Right.
Say that again. A great experience
Great
drives
experience.
more referrals, guys.
Yeah.
So if you walk into closing and anybody's pissed, you F that up so bad.
Yeah.
Not just for that transaction, but for all of the repeat and referrals from there.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to repeat, A+ vendor team, your holy trinity of the buy-side transaction, your attorney, your lender, and your home inspector.
Yeah. So, and you'll hear this from me a lot, and my team hears it from me. But we're brokers, so we have 20 plus lenders signed up. I really use 5, right? Because I know who they are. I can get them on the phone. I trust them, and I know that they will give everybody a good process. If you go to the bottom of the barrel, expect that experience, right? So we're still going to be competitive, but you know that your deal is going to close, and you're going to have a good experience. So.
Okay, last question. So do you guys know the magic of 5.5%? Who's gunning for 5.5% like I am?
3 million buyers.
Do you guys know what happens? So rates are at what, guys? Like 5.9999999. Okay, but at least we're at 5 right now. That's what I heard. So 5.5, guys, buyers come rushing back into the market. When's that going to happen? Probably around June, when Powell gets kicked out of office. Trump's trying to do it now with like filing criminal charges, and it's getting messy, right? Politics aside, rates need to go down. Powell's out, right? New guys in. So this is the time to make sure that you are structured and ready to go. And so Matt and I, we're doing it today at 2:00. We do a mortgage strategy Zoom for everybody in coaching, and that is one of the things that we are like hawk-eyes on, is that 5.5%.
Yeah. I mean, you saw 2 weeks ago the graphic from Keeping Current Matters 5.99. That lasted for like 3 hours, and then lenders like repriced for the worst. It's like, okay, we're back to 6.1. So when everybody posts that graphic, though, I got like 3 applications, so I'm not complaining, right? But 5.5 is the magic number. There's data on it. It's basically saying like 3 to 5 million buyers are coming back into the market. So your 450 house becomes 500, becomes 25K in due diligence. Negotiate now. Working with Meg on her buyer. Able to negotiate.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to when there's 8 other people fighting for the
All
same
right,
house.
last lender pro tip, and here's something I want you to know. So, one of the things that I know separates me from other real estate agents is how well I know financing and lending. So I will repeat that. One of the things that separates me, I will die on this hill, is how well I know financing and lending. So like DSCR loans, if you don't know what those are, look them up. That will blast open a section of your business you didn't even know was possible to do. The other piece, who knows when rates go down? So we've got people that are at like 7 and 8% rates on 30-year fixed. When is that a good time to refi? Like, what's the rule of thumb on that? Do you guys know? 1%. Okay, so rates go down. So if they're sitting at 7.5 and they can get a 6.5, good time to refi. So just write some of this stuff down. This is what will, over time, and so this is the other thing too. I call it like the cocaine mice. Like real estate agents are cocaine mice. They just are like pushing they want it to happen right now. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, it's decades, not days. Okay, we'll hear from Andy in a minute. He's I don't know, whatever. He's close to a decade, 70 million, right? Guess how many deals he did before his first one? Guess how many deals I did before my first one? 0. We all start there. And so, again, just over time, write these things down. Just be paying attention to the 5.5. Look up DSCR if you don't know. Reach out to your clients. We use something called HomeBot that flags it for us really easily that says, so-and-so is a refi candidate. You should reach out, ding dong. And if you don't, I can't help you with your client work. You're ding dong. So
Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack.
I'm gonna grab the first panel while you wrap up.
Backtrack on that, right? Knowing the programs that are offered, but also knowing the people that offer them, but also knowing the experts that offer them, right? So I don't do everything well. We have programs that we can do, but they're not the best. The only lender allowed in my events is Eric Eichinger from iFund Cities. He's the man. So all fix and flips go to him. Can I do them? Yes. Do I know what the hell I'm doing? No. So I don't want to risk my relationship with my client or my realtor to not give them the best advice on that. So I send those to Eric. He sends me his primaries. It's a great relationship. So know when you're having your lenders, like make sure that they're not just taking on the deal to take a commission, but they're taking it knowing that they know what they're doing. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Got the panel here?
Yep. Well,
Go.
as the panel gets themselves seated, does anybody have questions or ahas or thoughts or anything they want to share while they get sitting down?
I want to say something about that. So yeah, I sent a client to Matt, and we connected recently, and he sends this great video out. And last night my client called. She was so impressed with it, and it's going to be a lot of moving parts with this one. But she had reached out to another lender, and Matt beat that other lender by a landslide. So with the video that he sends, it's super impressive. He sent me an example of it, and I'm like, this is my guy right here. It's really helpful for our clients. So if you're not using him, please go use him.
Thank you.
Okay. Questions? Is that Cindy? Oh, no. Erica? No? All right, give me a question or an aha. This is part of you gotta have intention to let stuff absorb. Somebody over here.
500 years.
Oh, Eric. Oh, so tonight, if you haven't gotten enough of me, Anthony, and Eric, we will be back on stage tonight at 6 o'clock talking about how not to pay income taxes. So if you want to learn the keep it part, you should come to that tonight. Hello, sir. Hello, Marcus.
I won't take up too much of my time.
Eric's the man, guys.
Gonna get a Venmo request for a sponsorship after this. Let's see. No, I think about the passive income and the lifestyle creep is a big thing for the real estate agents, investors, myself. I get a big commission check, all of a sudden, State 48 looks pretty good, a new car looks pretty good, and whatever. The residual income that you can get from being an investor as a rental property owner opens up a whole new world to educate clients, as Matt talked about. I've done this before. I own rentals. I can help you. I can put you in the right touch. Saying you've done it versus actually doing it to get more clients is a huge deal.
All right. Our lovely panel. So this is panel number 1. So tell us who you are, how long you've been in the business in 2025, volume. You want me to repeat that?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you?
My name is Hemung.
Anthony Swain.
Kristen Hall.
Caroline Montgomery.
How long? Great, nailed it. A plus, guys. How long have you been in the business?
5 years.
Going into my 8th year.
I got my license in July 2024.
June 2025.
Awesome. So, do you guys catch this? It's like we got all barely started and on their way. Okay, what was your volume in 2025?
6 transactions.
31 homes and just shy of 11 million in volume.
Say it again.
11 million in volume, $10 million agent.
Woo!
Thanks to Marissa.
Yeah, thank you.
7.8 million and 20 units closed.
Cool. And then Kristen for coaching, she is our field specialist for love bugs, sphere of influence, spoil your sphere. So that's the other thing too. You don't just get to hear my mouth run all day long. You get to see other people too. All right, Carolyn.
The last year was 4 million. My best year was 12 million.
Okay. What's that?
There's a difference.
I do have something to say
I
about that.
took some time off for like mental health and resetting this year. I'm really excited.
2026, let's go.
Yeah.
Best year yet.
Whoever's needed a mental health holiday. Okay, something I want to point out too, as a coach, new people will be like scared to tell me things or come into coaching, and I'm like, look, I've got 25 aunts and uncle, a wild and crazy family who have had out of this world achievements on the negative end and out of this world achievements on the positive end. Okay, there's nothing I haven't personally seen or experienced, so it's like, it's welcome, right? It's welcome here. Okay, this is part of entrepreneurship, is learning to metabolize those emotions and do the work anyway. Okay? All right. So I'm going to ask each of the 4 of you the same question. You want to start?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the one thing you do every day in your business that you don't skip, and how does it help your business grow over time? And this is, well, I'll give you a second to think about that. Okay. And this is what we call the work works. Okay, so we have faith and belief that the work works. We do it enough, it'll keep going.
Wait, I have mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Because what I do every day to keep my business moving that I don't miss out would be the night prior. I make like a top 3 list, and I make sure I get those 3 things done before I get on social media or open any of my emails that next day. And because of that, like taking the action makes me feel more confident and makes people think I am reliable and dependable. Yeah, so writing down my top 3, not getting on social media, and not checking my emails before the day.
Awesome. And then write this down, guys. If this stuff resonates or like you hear yourself in one of them, that's why they're here. Like, write it down. It'll help you too.
One thing that I do, regardless of how busy I am every day, is reach out to at least 2 people in my sphere just to check in. Not a sales call. We're not talking real estate. It could be a text message, a handwritten note, a Facebook message, a DM, just to make people feel appreciated, remembered, and valued. It has helped me grow my business exponentially when I stopped chasing transactions and started focusing on building relationships, just genuine relationships.
If anybody needs me to repeat the question, yeah, okay, I'll repeat it. What is the one thing you do every day in your business that you don't skip? How does it help your business grow over time?
Quick question, Marissa. So I remember before the event, you gave us each a thing that you kind of wanted us to touch on.
That's next, but yeah.
Okay, so I won't get ahead of myself there. So one thing I do daily basis, no matter what, check the MLS first thing in the morning to see the just listed coming soon. I do the same thing in the afternoon. Reason why I do this is because I know what's out there, I would say just as much or better than anybody else. So for my clients, I'm their first dibs on a property that they may have their eyes set on. Working with investors, Sure enough, I'm going to be seeing it. We're going to be setting up the first showing. So, I mean, that's something I do on a daily basis, and I think it's tremendously helped my business. I mean, one, just because I know what's out there, I know the prices, I know the price per square foot, things like that. And then, hey, if there's a property that matches one of my clients' interests, we're some of the first people to know about it. So.
For me, it's looking at my sales pipeline. So I'm very visual, and I became very visual through a coaching program. But so I look at that every morning. I look at my buyer side, I look at my seller side, and understand where I am with every single client that I'm working with, and then use that to create my task list to understand who I should be nurturing, who I need to reach out immediately as well, and then I move over to looking at the just listed and just sold.
Good. All right. Anybody get some good stuff out of that?
Yeah.
So that's sort of cool. Okay. So Miss Caroline. So we're going to follow some themes that we like in coaching. So sphere of influence, confidence, resistance, and belief. Okay. So Caroline's our confidence lady. So Caroline, what helped you stop waiting to feel ready and start taking action? Aside from your aesthetics, but you can talk about that.
Thanks. What made me
What helped you stop waiting? So like
Oh,
stop waiting and take action. So like to have the confidence to go
Oh,
forward.
honestly, you have to just do it. Like, what has changed my business is when I realized you act and then you feel confident. You don't always
Say that again.
Okay.
So that's it, right?
Yes, yeah, you just have to do it, and then after the fact, that's when you feel confident, not before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like, how many deals did we all close before our first one? Zero. It's that. When did we start feeling confident with transactions? After we did them.
Maybe after a couple. And then you have to buy one yourself to like really understand. But yeah, definitely just acting, and then you'll feel confident.
I'm gonna finish up with my 3 questions, and I want you guys to ask the panel some questions, and Matt will come around with you. All right, Kristen, our spear lady. So, how do you make people feel important, not just when you need business, but all the time? She's the best of this, by the way.
I do love my sphere, and I love to spoil my people. In the first couple of years of real estate, I used to spend a lot of money buying leads from Realtor.com and chasing cold strangers. And when I realized that I could take that money and invest it into my people, the people who already know me, who already trust me, it was a huge game changer. And so I love to do events, huge event planner, pop buys. I love to pop by on holidays, unexpectedly, expectedly, handwritten notes. I love to celebrate milestones of my people. Like if someone finds out they're having a baby, I'm sending flowers right away. What else? What else do I do?
Everything. She does.
That already sounds amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot.
But yeah, gift card giveaways is one of my favorite things to do, especially during the holidays. I do one for women. Any day that we're celebrating National Coffee Day, National Women's Day, I'm giving away a gift card and just spoiling my people. That's friends, family, my farm, past clients, vendors. It comes naturally to me. My love language is words of affirmation followed by gifts. So this is something that I've been doing for so long, and then realized I'm like, hey, I'm building a referral-based lead generator by just doing the things that I love. So,
Yep, fantastic. You should follow these guys on social media too. That'll help you out. Okay, Anthony, belief, our belief guy. So, do you guys believe it is possible to hit 10 million in sales in under 2 years?
He's the product.
Yeah.
Yes,
like-
man, it is possible.
I've done it. I did it. He's done it. Caroline's done it. All right, so Anthony, and this is one of my favorite stories about Anthony. It's kind of wrapped in here. So, how did you decide to host a client and friend appreciation event before you even had clients? And how did that change how fast your business grew? So this guy hosted a client and friend appreciation party, no clients. And that's where the and friend came from.
Yeah, no, for sure. So see a lot of familiar faces, which is great. Love that you're all here, and a lot of new faces too. So hopefully get to connect with more of you. Real quick, backstory. I was a nurse for 10 years, and July 24 is when I got my license. Ended up getting connected with Marissa and took her coaching program. And with that, I told myself, hey, Anthony, you don't have any experience with this. I didn't know anyone that was a realtor. I need to go all in and listen to everything she is telling me to do. And I made it a point in the training, whatever that coaching was that day, I went and applied it. And it was like October, November, she brought up, you know, you need to be hosting clients at client events for your sphere and, you know, your past clients. I was like, well, I don't have many. I think I had 2 clients at the time. But I was like, hey, the rest I can make friends. So I ended up doing a client and friend appreciation event that December. And it was a great turnout. You know, I really didn't know what I was doing, planning an event, and didn't have any experience with it. You know, listened to what they say. I got sponsors, chose a venue, you know, had it catered and free drinks for everybody. And everybody had a great time. We ended up taking a big group photo at the end. And I still look back at it to this day, because looking at that photo, I ended up closing 5 deals in 2025 for people who were at that event. So to me, I think that is one of the biggest ROI things you can do in your business is having big events like that where you're showing how grateful you are for your top people. And hey, as you build up more, the room will be filled with more clients, which is great. But I think it builds a community and something that people will remember you by and they look forward to. They look forward to, hey, my event. They know it's going to be every year at the end of the year, middle of the year. Hey, I actually might do 4 events this year, 1 every quarter. So yeah, needless to say, that was something I applied for Marissa's program, and it worked. You know, what she teaches works.
Thank you. We call him A plus Anthony. I think you guys. Or I call him.
She says Reed.
A plus Anthony. All right. Hey, Mom. Okay, this guy I love so dearly. Let me tell you about my guy. His resistance is like 1,000 out of 100. Okay? And so we call this the realtor resistance radar. This is what his question's around. So when people come into coaching, I ask, I'm like, are you no resistance, low, medium, or high? Okay, so when you're coming into like a coaching environment to learn new information, personally, I'm a medium high type of gal. Okay, so I have to work to like get my resistance down to hear the message. This guy came in was like to the ceiling, and I was like, all right, you might get the resistance trophy.
Yep.
So hey, Mom,
Yes.
question for you. What do you do when your brain tells you to avoid the work? And what realtor, we call them realtor resistance masks. So we call it the realtor resistance radar, where are you at in a given day? And then what mask are you wearing to prevent yourself an overwhelm? Okay, so what do you do when your brain tells you to avoid the work?
Before the coaching, I wouldn't do the work. After the coaching, I do the work. So, a little bit about me. Before starting in real estate, I was in the corporate world. I was an account manager in business development. So I thought I knew it all. Like, oh, I'm doing sales for corporate, and so I get it. And then I came into real estate. I was always a part-time agent in Boston and New York. And I was like, well, I know what to do. It's just sales. How can it be so different? And then I met Marissa, and the first thing she said to me is, you have a guard up. And I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. So essentially what I learned through it all was that I just need to do the work. It could be wrong, but if I just start, that's the most important part, because if you don't start, you're just going to be in your head consistently thinking about what you should be doing while someone else is already doing it, right? So it's just a matter of starting and getting ahead of it. So I was always lying to myself, saying my resistance on the medium. Someone called me out and told me it's very high, and it was a reality check for me, because I'm very systematic, and I was like, oh, I need to get everything in place first before I start working, right? And that was always my downfall, is like that first getting everything in order never ended. So for me, it was just about working. My mask, honestly, I would say my mask has come down a lot. I feel a lot more grateful with everything that I do now. I take everything with like just thinking about how grateful I am with all the coaching and all that stuff. So I would say that my mask has come down substantially.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know how I kind of got through to him? So I was on his social media story, on his IG story, and he was making this delicious dish, right? That required like slow cooking, marinating, and I'm like, this is what I need you to do in real estate. I need you to stop trying to make these like disgusting microwave. Or I was like, how gross! I was like, how gross would what you're making be if you dumped all the ingredients, turned it on high, and tried to be fucking gross.
So I was cooking and she said, well, you like to cook. You can't just put onions, garlic, tomatoes, and everything into one pot and expect a really good meal, right? You have to start heating things up, sauteing, and all that stuff, and then you get to where you need to be. So it was a step-by-step process, and that's what.
All right, as you can, I adore all four of them, so they're yours. So ask them questions, or if you guys had anything on your minds you feel called to share with the room, go for it.
I'll say something really quick that I don't know if any of us touched on. Maybe somebody will. But I think what's truly important is just being authentic and just going all in on that, and not trying to be someone else. I think the more you lean into that authenticity, I think it makes you stand out. It makes you someone that people trust. So that's something I really have leaned into from the very beginning, is not changing who I am and just being myself and putting myself out there. And I think it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that, being your authentic self. Like, I tried so many things in the first couple of years of real estate as far as lead generators go, but I came to find out that I'm not a good cold caller. I'm definitely not a door knocker. Buying leads just wasn't working out for me. So when I finally figured out that my sphere was my thing and I leaned into it 110%, that's when I saw the needle move. So pick 3 things that you're good at and just stick to those. And if it comes down to just one, just lean fully into that. But don't try to do everything all at once, because when you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, essentially. So.
Any questions, anyone?
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
Jane, you're up, man.
Do we need microphones? Or
You can sit.
There we go.
No, you don't need to sit for future questions. Let the record show.
That was good, but
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Quick question. When it comes to client events, do you guys have a specific theme for each one? And then it's something that they look forward to, and what are those themes?
Great question. I mean, I think if you're first just considering one, I would say just do it. Choose a date, whatever theme you want to make it, just do it. You know, it's probably not going to be perfect, to be honest with you, but then from there you can build and make each one better after that.
Yeah.
So I started off with, it was just an ugly sweater party in December. It was festive. Everybody, thought it was funny, showing up in ugly sweaters. And then last summer I had done, honestly, just at a brewery. I didn't even have a theme. It was just everybody meet at this brewery, and I had, pizzas there. So I feel like the mic's turned on off. Hope everybody can hear me. Just had pizzas and, pay some tickets. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just lean on other people for support too. Lean on your broker in charge to help you plan it, or, another agent. Some of the vendors that you use and refer out, touch base with them and see if they want to be a part of it. You'd be surprised. Many of them will. And they'll help you out. So,
Thank you.
Randy.
Where did you host the ugly sweater event, and how much did your brewery party cost?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember what the exact one was. Maybe $2,000, $1,500. But like I said, I had vendors that were happy to sponsor, and that cut it down significantly. But back to it, even if I did have to pay the full $1,500, I think the ROI was worth it. I did, like I said, I closed 5 deals from the people that were in that room that evening. So you do the math, figure out commissions, and figure out what the ROI is there. But even if I didn't close any deals, to me, just getting those touch points with my closest people is worth it. Even if I'm not necessarily closing deals, it's one opportunity to get in front of a lot of people all at once, get pictures together, post on their social media. So I think even if you're not closing deals, I think it's worth it.
And I'm just curious where you hosted the ugly sweater, because
Breweries.
some brilliant woman
I feel like that's an easy one.
gave me the idea of a chili cook-off, Olivier Gillard. And so I was thinking, where would I host such a thing? So you did that at a brewery also.
Yeah, I've done breweries. A lot of them kind of already have it set up. They have plans available to give you different packages you can choose from. But go with whatever is your thing. If you have a certain thing that you like to do, make it around that. Invite your people. They'll probably enjoy it as well.
And if you partner with motivation, they plan the whole thing.
Super subtle plug. Super subtle plug. But yeah, motivation, they're fantastic.
Mandy is
Fantastic with helping
amazing.
you plan things.
Okay.
So
Super
lean
smart.
on, you know, who will help you. So.
We got time for 2 more before we flop the camera.
So I got my voice is hoarse, but my question to my fellow Northerner, what was your biggest challenge from adjusting to the nitty gritty shit talking that the North is down to what Charlotte and the South has become? Because that's where I came from myself, and I'm just curious to see what your challenges were and how you overcame them. Yeah.
I'm from California. I get a different set of
Yeah,
stuff.
coming from the Northeast, you're very direct. There's no being kind or anything like that. You are kind, but your words don't show up like that. You're just very, very direct in what you say. But for me, it was a lot about slowing down and actually being intentional and listening to what they have to say before responding, because a lot of times you're already developing the answer, and then you may be speaking how to turn, and that's it's a huge learning curve down here. It's like you actually listen, you let the other person talk first, and then you respond rather than just combative conversations. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just slowing down and listening. What was the other part to the question?
It was just like challenges, because
Yeah.
down here, up there is go, go, go. We don't care about what your mom had for breakfast or dinner.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're here to get deals done. Down here, you kind of have to have like a soft conversation about whatever, then move into it.
Yes.
They're on biscuit and gravy time. I'm from Long Island, from New York, and coming down here, I'm like, let's get this done. They're like, well, how was the weather this morning? And I'm like, we get to the point, but it's all.
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Proportion.
When my wife and I moved down here, and we live in an HOA community, so everyone's waving to each other, walking the dogs and saying hi, and I'd be waving to our neighbors, and my wife would be like, "What are you doing?" And, so I had to coach her, which is helped me realize that, all right, you have to wave to people, you have to say hi, right, and not just be down, looking down all the time. But I'm also in hospitality. I do a lot of Airbnbs, so being in the hospitality business and having Airbnbs naturally helps you be friendly, right? You have to be friendly because your guest reviews is what makes your business shine. So that's helped me as well.
All right, we got time for 1 more. Let's switch the panel. I'm going to remind you, if you like what you hear, scan the QR code. You have till 11:45 to get the deal. And the thank you, right? The action taker, thank you, is really what that's about. So who has our last question for this panel, and they'll be around. Let's go, Eric. Eric, Matt, can you?
Yeah. Sorry, not so much a question but a comment. I thought Caroline's answer about planning the night before is like one of the coolest things ever, and I just have to share this because I learned about this yesterday, so if you've been doing it for a while, don't make fun of me. But if everything goes on text messages, Apple has a new feature where you can click send later on things, and it's changed my entire lending business like tenfold. So I'm laying in bed at night and I'll send out like 30 text messages. I go out at 7 in the morning. I'm sleeping, getting responses, and like in business. So I think I call it organizing tomorrow today, and I really love that answer. So if anyone's not doing it, we can all be texting each other in bed with our people, sending iMessages to each other. That's an amazing thing that's helped me a lot. And I think for agents that'd be awesome too.
I'll take mine. Don't worry. Next panel is coming up. Who do we have on our next panel? Olivia Gallardi, Austin Snyder, Andy Grace, Andy
Alright guys, we are gonna run the same question. So, who you are, what was your 2025 volume?
My name is Austin Snyder. I've been in the business. I'm celebrating on 10 years this October. It's the only I did it right out of college, and then last year in 2025, I sold right at 20 million, like 100,000, so 20 million.
Wow.
That's amazing. My name is AJ Castro. I've been in the business for 5 years. Last year I sold 17.2 million.
My name is Olivia Gallardi. Last year I sold right under 16 million, and I am in year 4 of the business.
I'm Andy. I've been in the industry for 9 years now. Last year I did about 70 million, and my team did another, with the team and everyone combined, we did over 100 million.
This is the 10 million plus in home. So if you're seeing the plus, that's what that means. All these guys. All right, I'm going to ask each of you. So this is the work works, right? So you've got to have belief that the work works before it's actually showing up for you. So Andy, what is the one thing you do every day in your business that you don't skip, and how does it help you move things forward over time?
Coffee, lots of coffee. Coffee and then alcohol at night. But I'm constantly trying to control what I can control on a daily basis, which whenever I think about that and it really internalize like controlling the controllables, it's just reaching out to people. I constantly want to be talking to people. Even though it gives me anxiety, I love when my phone's blowing up. And I always am trying to have coffee meetings, lunch meetings, dinner meetings, drinks meetings, you name it. You're going to see that I'm out and about in town all the time. And the idea is always being in front of people. Whether you like him or not, I like some of his stuff and not all of it. But Grant Cardone said that as a salesperson, the most expensive lunch you can have is one by yourself. So take that.
All right, Olivia, I'll say it again for you. What is the one thing you do every day in your business that you don't skip? How does it help your business grow and move forward over time?
I think mine has to be super simple, and it's my physical CRM. I use it every single day, Saturday, Sunday, I look at it as well. It has all of my transactions that are going on, so my leads, under contracts, about to close, buyers, sellers, everything. And it just allows me to like physically touch my clients or the transaction, know where we're at, know what I need to do to move it forward. And if it's a lead, then I don't forget about it. It's right there in front of me. I'm constantly going to stay in front of them until I move them up on that board. And so that's something you taught me that is definitely a must-have for me.
And you guys know, have you ever seen Olivia's board? If I've ever shown you the graphic of like set up your board, it's hers from day one.
Yeah.
And now, how much volume did you do?
Right under 16.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. All right, you want me to repeat it or you got it?
I think I got it. Okay, so every morning I start with what I really don't want to do, because once I get over it, I feel like the rest of the day just flows easier. So like the text I really don't want to make or ask the seller for a reduction, just do that first in the morning and kind of gets it over with. And then one thing I can never skip is looking for deals. Every single day, first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for land that I can sell to developers so I can list that event.
Kind of the same thing. I'm going to piggyback off what they said, but every Monday I write out like a what you got list, and that's just my homes I have under contract, followed by upcoming listings, and then under that I have my current active buyers. And I'm a very hands-on person, so I actually have a notebook, not really a big phone, keeping things on my phone. So I have that on my desk at all times of the day. And I like to go through and look at my buyers, and I look every day. I go in the MLS and I type in 0 to 1 on active listings because I want to know every listing that hit over the last 24 hours. I'm primarily focusing on those buyers, like where are they looking, or is there any good fits for those buyers? But I think it's kind of our job to know every listing so that, yes, they're on searches, but it's a lot better when we can also physically send them when a new listing hits. It's just much more personal. So it's seeing those group of buyers on my notepad every day, and then looking at every listing that hits the market over the last 24 hours. And if you do that every day, you should know everything that comes on the market.
That's awesome. All right, I'll keep this one down there for you.
Yeah.
So Austin is our king of focus. And so Austin, how do you decide who to focus on instead of trying to talk to everyone?
I think one of the bigger things, like when I got into real estate when I was 22, and going back then, I was like focused. I didn't have a ton of, I think I just took this off. I think it was always writing down your pipeline, right? And that's keeping that on my table. but it's creating like an A, B, and C buyers and truly focusing on those A buyers once a week and every day. And that's who's getting my main attention. B buyers you're touching like once a month, C buyers every other month, something on the lines of that. So yeah, that's I would say my main focus on who I'm focusing on.
He's excellent at focus. All right, who we got this? Angie. Okay, I've got a wealth question for you. So how old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh my God. Who's impressed by Angie?
Oh my God.
We love us some Angie Castro. And she introduced me to Anthony, Hemong, Anna, Victoria. So I love that. Thank you. Okay, so Angie, how did you start thinking like an investor so early, and how does that help you take better care of regular buyers and sellers?
Well, I started thinking like an investor because they were the only people that picked up the phone for me. So like, I got my license at 18. People didn't want me to buy or sell their home. They just didn't trust me. But an investor will always work with you. So if you can bring an opportunity, they're gonna buy it from you. And a lot of times they're gonna let you list it at the end. So I just started making industry connections and I worked backwards. What they all really need is deals. That's what an investor needs. And usually wholesalers will have that. So I made a lot of wholesale relationships, got those deals, sold those deals to investors, and then it just kept growing from there. What was the
And then how does your investor work help you do better with just regular mom and pop buyer and sellers?
So I'm able to know the inventory of a lot of different builders before it goes on market, flips, and things of the sort. So when I get a new buyer consultation, if what they want is not on the market, I can show them a lot of off-market options that only few people have access to. So that's gonna help me to buy a lot of buyer agencies or to get a lot of buyer agencies signed.
Yeah. And so you got to remember the market is always great for one of three people, buyers, sellers, or investors. So if you know how to work with all three, market conditions don't matter. You know, and so Angie, from a very young and impressive age, already owns her own rentals, building, her husband, her own firm. Like, so it's like, if you don't want to listen to my 43-year-old ass talk about buy rentals, talk to the 19-year-old. She was 19. All right, Olivia. We lovingly call her Olivia Bear. You can call her that. So this one is about identity work. So when I first met Olivia, she was coming from the beach, flipping burgers.
Yes.
Not interested in being business boss lady. Like,
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And then what was your production?
This past year, right under 16 million.
16 million.
Yeah.
And she's already got 50 million of stuff.
40
coming
Yeah.
in the new year. Okay, so huge. We're talking like your identity can't keep up with that level of growth. Okay, so that's something you need to know when you raise your hand and say, I want to do 10 million or more of real estate. That's not normal, guys. You're going to have some issues with friends, family, people, and most importantly, you're going to have to do emotional and identity work on yourself. Okay, and so Olivia, what changed about how you see yourself that helped your business grow?
Oh, that's a hard question. What changed about how I see myself? You know, I don't think much changed about how I see myself, but more or less how I see the business, I would say. I think that you constantly are having to re-identify yourself, right? It's going to be something with the business constantly changing. You're always going to have to change too and stay with it. And one thing that really stood out to me when I first got started was I would look at other top producers. I would see how they posted on social media, how they spoke, what they wore, and I would try and imitate that. And it didn't work for me. And as soon as I stopped like performing and just started talking and dressing and being how I actually am, I not only saw better connections, but real relationships form, and the business came with it. And so when you stop, like imitation brings attention, but identity will bring alignment. And when you're aligned with your identity, you start to see opportunities that you would have never seen before. And I think that when I became super confident in my identity, I did start to see other opportunities that I would have never seen or thought I could even accomplish. And so I don't know what exactly it was that changed me, but I think that watching the business and knowing what I wanted to do and finding that niche that I wanted to hit and just following that North Star is what got me there.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you. She had the most vulnerable share, so let's give her a round. All right. Mr. Big Dog, Andy G. You get the systems question, right? So everything we do in coaching is surrounding identity, systems, and structure. Okay, so you've got a team, you've got people around the country. Your personal book is 70 million. I mean, shit, guys, his personal book is bigger than most real estate firms in teams. Okay, that's just one guy, and then you got 100 million. So he's got. Can you imagine the amount of pressure that's on this guy? It's a lot. Okay, and he smiles and he looks good and he's nice, but it's
a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Okay,
A lot of expenses.
a lot of expenses. Yes, running a team is not cheap. Okay, so Andy, question for you is, what did you put in place so your business doesn't fall apart when things get busy and you're under pressure?
The easy answer is hiring help. The first hire that is the most important one to make, is, which everyone should do no matter where you're at in the business, is getting a transaction coordinator. When I was on Marissa's team when I first got into real estate, that was one of the rules, was we had to use a transaction coordinator for every deal. And I've only done 2 transactions in my entire career without a transaction coordinator, and I will never do one without a TC. So that is the first hire that you have to make, so that you're not having to pull over on the side of the road to handle a due diligence repair request and answer some emails and whatever else comes along with those negotiations. And then as you start growing, you can hire out some more help to just, out of necessity, I've had to grow the team because I can't handle every single question, everything that comes in from every client or potential client. One of my regrets, though, as I've grown, was not documenting everything I did and documenting to build out a playbook, so that way you can just hand it over to someone. And that's something that I've learned over the last few years, is that, sure, Farah's on my team and a lot of you have interacted with her and she is amazing. And if I could get like 3 more Farahs, my numbers would be way, way higher. But the key was having someone who understands my business and understands how I operate, and we're on a similar kind of mindset on how we communicate with clients, how we operate, like the way that we like to present issues to clients, the way that we handle things when things go sideways, like it's all kind of aligned. And it took a while too, but what really resonated with me was one of my mentors recently was like, what happens if something happens to Farah? And I was like, oh, fuck. So because of that question, we've started trying to put into place a lot of different systems, a lot of different operating procedures, and documenting all of it. So that way anyone could come in and help out with a certain aspect of our system within our business, and they'll understand what they're looking at. And I talked to the team, they're all gonna start laughing about this because I'm hounding them on this right now, because I want to make sure that anyone could come get plugged into our CRM or plugged into Monday.com, where we handle all of our operations, and they're going to know what they're looking at, and they're going to be able to find what they need. And so I forget what book it was that I read recently, but they talked about how it's so easy to fall into the trap of the scavenger hunt of finding information. And so what happens with a lot of us, and I'm going to butcher this, but what happens is a lot of us will shorten the time to just deposit information. So when we plug in something into our CRM, we just put the name, email, and you don't get a phone number, like whatever. At least I have their phone in my contacts. Or you don't hit all the tags, or you don't put the right source or right stage or whatever, but at least it's in there. Then it lengthens the scavenger hunt when you're going to retrieve that information. And so it's easier to do it that way, where you can just quickly put stuff in, and you know that even though down the road you may remember these little details, like, oh yeah, like Marissa and I had this one conversation, but if Farah went in to look for that conversation, she wouldn't find it. And so just taking the extra time, like you all have to do this, I have to do this, everyone needs to do this, where you just take that little bit of extra time to plug in a little more information. If you're thinking, could anyone open this up and understand what's going on, or do they have to ask me? Because if they have to ask me, then it's taking time away from a conversation I could be having with a client or someone else doing something else, and it's going to lengthen the scavenger hunt, the time frame that that's taking to retrieve that information. So one of the biggest things that we've been implementing with the team right now is trying to just really take the time, plug in more information so that it is dummy proof. And then we use Loom for all kinds of stuff. And Loom is amazing. Trainual is another good one. There's a lot of good tools out there, but the key is, if, like for me, if someone on the team has a question about something, I can go to Loom, I can answer the question, and then I can send it to them, and then we can add it to our bank of, like, our training library. And then we can sort it so that way if you have a question about something in the MLS, you might be able to go to our MLS section with our training videos, and then you can see, oh, there it is right there. Let me just watch that. So that's a big thing we've been doing, and that's something that I regret not doing up front, because it is a beast to try and get through now when we're busy. We're very busy. Everyone's very busy. So it's all about having intentionality with those kinds of things, and just being able to document everything that you're doing, and think about, if you hire someone, could they get plugged into that system and within a couple days figure out kind of where things are, where to go, where to get answers? And if the answer is no, then you have some work to do.
And there's always
Yeah.
Oh my God, real estate. I remember when you were like, I call them baby agents. When you're a brand new baby agent, my conversation with him is, I want you out in the field selling. So anything that doesn't have you out in the field selling is a waste of time. We have TCs for that. We have admin. We have backup. And then I remember one day he's like, so-and-so wants me to go golf, and I'm like, bye. Get out of here. Like, that's the best use of your time. And that was kind of like mind-blowing. But like, connection and getting out is important. So thank you for sharing that. All right, it's up. Who has something on their head or heart that they want to share with the room?
It sounds like I have a lot of work to do. I mean, I don't really have anything that I truly want to talk about. My biggest thing that I was saying earlier is just making sure that I write down every day my to-do list, because if I don't write it down, I will not do it, and I'm too ADD, I will forget. And then again, it's going over, is keeping that pipeline in front of me every day. I think it's really easy to think, okay, I have A, B, and C buyer, this is what they're looking for, let me keep an eye out. But when you constantly see their name every day, it really reminds you of what you have going on. So I just think having those people in front of you every day to remind yourself what you have going on and what you truly need to focus on, or else you're going to get on social media, you're going to check your emails, and you're going to forget all about that next buyer. And it's literally going through and I scratch off their name every day when I do that.
I took that from you.
Can I have a question for Austin?
Sure.
Yeah, question for Austin.
You said every day you check the MLS,
Yep.
right? And you said you put in.
Now, don't quiz me on that. If I can
No.
I haven't seen.
And you put in 0 to 1, meaning days on market.
Yep. Coming soon. I do 0 to 1, active, 0 to 1. That
I'm
way.
not
And I'm primarily
Where is that?
focusing
I'm
on a
not sure.
specific area.
Like your search.
Yeah, you do
Oh,
like
like
residential detail.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
On that, because you can go back, like if you do closed deals, last 0 to 180 days.
Right. Oh, 0 to 1, gotcha.
But yeah, I do 0 to 1 to see everything that's hit. Because I want to know if there's a new listing that hit that fits any of my current active buyers. That way I could also send it to them. And yes, there's the searches you can set people up on. But I set a guy up on a search yesterday and he got 75 houses. That is overload.
Right.
You know, if your budget's
That's like,
under
so can you
800
touch on
for a
that?
4-bedroom
Yeah,
house.
so how many houses,
You
so
know?
per buyer client, when you set them up on a search, how many houses should pop up if you've effectively qualified them?
I mean, in theory, I hate searches, first off. I like to personalize it, set myself up on a search, and then send it out to them, because like I said, that guy got 75 and I'm like, holy shit, half these houses suck, right? And they said they wanted a renovated home, and I can't type that into MLS, make it look pretty, you know? So in theory, it really should have like 20 homes and they're getting a few homes a week. Like, it should not be, you know, a ton. But that's why I like to set myself up too on those searches. And also just look every day. I mean, it's your job to educate yourself in the market and know what hits, right? So I think doing that really helps, and it just makes you a better realtor.
You guys know those end caps, so it's like if you've got 3 or less homes that show up, you've got a unicorn hunter on your hands. They're looking for a $500,000 single family in Myers Park. What?
Where are those?
Tell them to buy a time machine.
Rewind. Okay, so that 3 or less unicorn hunter, if you've got 20 plus, you haven't qualified well enough.
Yeah.
So just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes going out that first time, because they'll just say they want a bigger house. They're moving from a townhome. They want to go and get a bigger house, and then they need to find out, okay, where do they want to be, and then narrow it down. I'm doing that literally tomorrow, and I'm showing people all over. And then like after tomorrow, if I didn't educate you well enough, then I've got to change something. But we need to lock it down so that you're only seeing 10 homes. You know.
And that 0 to 1 like search is really important, not just to help your clients and send them an opportunity, but also just for market knowledge. If you go to a neighborhood, you should be able to quote over the last sales in the neighborhood, when that one went under contract, how much did the one in the corner sell for. Like, that should just be knowledge, and just seeing every status every day will teach you that. The other thing for me is 0 to 1 helps me because I can see on under contract, I can see if any high price point has hit for a flip or a new build, and I know I can pay more for land in that neighborhood now. So I can attack those specific neighborhoods and find that for developers by being on top of the market.
We were just chatting the other day about way back in the day. I don't even know if you remember these properties on Oakland and Condon, Andy. It's like we were buying them for like $50,000. She just posted one that was like $1 million.
That's crazy.
And she was saying lots there, but she's got the eye for like neighborhoods and stuff that's growing. So
and that's just your new comp, right? So while I was under contract, just because I already know we're about to send this new comp, I can send offers to everybody for land deals and offer more than anybody.
okay, so did you catch that little pro move, right? So if you know you're gonna list a property that's gonna massively overshoot comps, before you do it, go get the contracts to buy all the other property, because you can just comp yourself up. Where's Linda Gash? You know, I don't know if I see her in here, but she knows about comping off yourself.
Yeah, and honestly, the last thing I will say is just real estate is truly such a massive and awesome industry to be in. You can truly make whatever you want to make. I'm an immigrant. I didn't speak English 10 years ago, sorry. I spoke English for a year. 10 years ago, I couldn't even speak English. I dropped out of college. I am 24 years old, making over $500,000 a year. You can literally do whatever you want within this industry. Age doesn't matter, color doesn't matter, nationality doesn't matter. So, like, I think there is a proof of concept for many people. So.
Yeah. Am I just saying whatever's on the heart?
We got some time for a couple questions once Olivia's.
I have a quick one. You said something earlier. You said imitation. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, imitation brings attention, but identity brings alignment.
Olivia?
No, I came up with that last night, I'm not gonna lie, so.
Yeah, Anthony.
I have a question.
Hey, plus Anthony.
Anybody that feels like answering, and this should be a layout. It should be a layout. What is the one thing you would recommend any new agent to do when they're first starting?
Preview. We were told when I got my license, and I got my license in 2016, I feel like it was totally different back then, but we were required to preview like 10 homes a week. Because not only are you seeing homes, you're educating yourself on like what does a home in Madison Park look like? What does a home over here in Chantilly look like? What does a home in Beverly Woods look like? And when you're able to show a home later and you're like, oh, I actually was in this house the other day. They don't know if you were in this house to show a buyer, but they, you know about that home. So I think one of the biggest things was I previewed like 300 homes probably my first year in real estate. Knew nothing about real estate. I mean, I was 22. I just was happy to get my license. But I learned so much about the neighborhoods and about the homes in each neighborhood and the different uniqueness about them.
I would say open houses, which is the easy answer, right? Everyone says open houses, but the reason why I think open houses are really important for new agents is because most of us, unlike Austin, have come from other industries, right? And either way, when you're brand new in real estate, it's hard to visualize and really internalize and think of yourself as a real estate professional. Everyone's thinking of you as whatever you were before real estate. But the awesome thing about open houses is when you're standing in a home and a stranger walks in, they have no clue. And so it's your way of kind of just forcing yourself to be the real estate professional to other human beings who have no idea what your background is, what your history is, how long you've been doing it. It could be day one, and it doesn't matter because they have no clue unless you say, hey, I'm Andy, nice to meet you. I've been doing this for 2 days, right? So it's a good way to help get yourself comfortable talking to other strangers, talking to other people as a real estate professional. So then when you go to the dinners or hang out or whatever with your friends, you feel more confident because you've already done it with other people.
Yeah. And it's mini billboards. Did you guys see my signs coming in?
Yes, they were good. I know.
Yeah. That's like free advertising. So I'm like, guys, put your mini billboards out. And he knows I was a psycho. I was like, 25 signs is not enough. Per open house, per agent on the team per weekend. He's like, I will kill you. I'm like, well, it'll work.
And it's also free leads. I mean,
It's free
Yeah.
leads. So it's like if you guys are not conceptually thinking about open houses as being allowed to put out little mini billboards, and we're lucky in Charlotte, we can put out as many signs as we want.
Yep.
Right? Some cities like, I mean,
Depends on the neighborhood, but.
let's be optimistic.
that's that one thing.
Anthony, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna give the quick layup, and then the ladies can finish. The layup was taking Marissa's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And my layup is like, have a crew, guys, that support you and love you. It's awesome.
Both what you guys said was obviously great examples, but yeah, Marissa's program is the real deal. Recommend it for any new agent or honestly an agent that wants to scale their business. So a huge proponent, and you can see the support here. Marissa's awesome.
Yeah, and we actually have a really cool thing for every single one of you that came here today. So yeah.
And speaking on that, I mean, I got my license when I was 22, and the first thing I did was surround myself with what I called back then, like the old heads.
Don't
And
do
then,
it.
like,
Don't do
Marissa
it.
was one of them. Remember, I was 22 and very negligent, you know, like.
Oh, I was probably.
And I surrounded myself with all like the 35 to 40-year-olds, which to me back then I was like, they're old. So I think that's key, is surrounding yourself with those people to learn. And I literally didn't talk. I talk because I'm loud, but I listened to what they were saying and how they did business just to learn. I think that's the best thing, and that's why surrounding yourself with Marissa and her coaching helps, because it's the easiest way to get in and learn from these people.
Yeah.
And we truly do support each other. I hope if you're not in our coaching community, you can see, like, it's not bullshit. Like, we're here for each other. Because we know how hard it is to get to 10 million plus in sales. So there's a lot of reverence and respect for people on the path to get there and the ones that are far exceeding it.
I remember when I first started, I went to your coaching, and it was before I even moved to Charlotte, and I moved to Charlotte because of your coaching. I will say that. In
Not
fact,
even your whole family.
No, but I seriously, I wasn't going to.
Well,
I wasn't
okay,
going
Angie,
to
you're up
Charlotte.
next.
Hallmark's building in Wilmington now too, so I was going to stay in Wilmington, and I was going to sell in Wilmington, and I was going to try and do both like I do now, but just be Wilmington be my hub. But I went and I sat there, and I literally moved 2 weeks after. I pushed it up like significantly faster than I was going to move, because I wanted to get started in your coaching. And I remember I was like, I don't know what to do, like on a day-to-day basis. Like I wake up, what do? I don't have clients, I don't have anything. And Sterling Torres, I think, does anyone know his real last name? Is he here? I think it's Torres, but he has like 3 different last names. But he was like, come over to my house and we'll get a game plan. And he invited me over for coffee, and we made a game plan for what am I going to do in the morning when I wake up. I'm going to look at the MLS, and then I'm going to call my open house leads. And he helped me, and he had no reason to help me. Like, no reason. He wasn't making anything from it. And just because I met him from your coaching, and he was just a really good guy. So anyways, they do support each other in the group. It's a really amazing group. And I did move to Charlotte because of it. I will say that. And you can say whatever you want. I moved up my clothes, whatever.
All right, you're my favorite.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. So
Sorry,
I'm done.
No, I'm stupid. Angie, what you got? And then can I get Tyler and Matt to come up here, because I want to make the announcement with you guys.
Is it even on?
Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, I was going to say something.
No, go for it.
Let's go.
Okay, we'll go Angie, and then Caroline, and then I want to make the big announcement for everybody.
Yeah, I guess touching on the coaching subject. So I've been in the business 5 years, but my first year I really just posted TikTok videos and didn't really do anything. I think I sold one house, but I was 18, so I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. So every day I would sit down, look at the computer, and be like, what am I supposed to do today? Post TikTok videos. No sales came from the TikTok videos. Then year 2 came in, and I was like, okay, I'm getting a hand of this investor thing. Year 3 is when I met Marissa. And the year 3, at that point, I think my year before I had sold like 2 million in volume. Year 3, I meet Marissa, I sell 10 million. For 3rd year, first time I'm actually working on this full time. But finally, somebody was telling me what to do. Because this whole time, I wanted to work, but I just didn't know what to do. And once you get your license, like you truly sit down and you're like, well, what am I to do? So I don't have clients. I don't have transactions. Like, what do I do today? So from 10 million, then year after 16, last year 17.
And Andrew's our class president.
Yes. Undefeated.
All right, Andy, you have one thing to say, and then we'll do
Only
our-
one running.
You gotta have fun too, guys. You realize real estate will break you, right? Real estate's a hard profession, so you want to have some fun and be around good people.
So one other thing I want to leave everyone with, the way that I like to goal set, and anyone who's met with me and we've talked about goals has heard this before, but I like to set 3 different types of goals: floor, target, and gain. And what this does is it will shift your mindset throughout the entire year, and it will help you stay focused throughout the year. So if your true goal is to sell $10 million and last year you did 4, you would want to set your floor goal as $4 million. You did it last year. If you can do that, then you should be able to do that again this year. Then maybe the target would be 7 million, somewhere in the middle of that. And then the gain would be 10 million. And the idea is, if your goal really obviously is to sell $10 million this year, but you can't sell 10 million if you don't sell 4 million. And then if you're hitting that floor, as long as, even if you sell 5, at least you hit the floor, you did more than last year. But if you're cruising, the real true goal is to hit 4 million as fast as possible. So then what happens is the conversation and the narrative shifts when you're talking to friends, clients, family. If August rolls around and you're at 4 million, then the conversation becomes, well, when they ask how's business, how's the market, you can say, I've already done what I did last year and it's August. And then in the back of your mind, you're trying to just hit that next goal, the target goal of $7 million. So think about setting goals that way, because it will help keep you motivated throughout the entire year, because you can't hit that top goal if you don't hit the first one. So micro goals and doing it that way it's been a huge piece of our business.
All right, one
Real quick.
One more. Okay, no problem.
Someone had a question for, I think, Anthony, on what events he did and how he planned it all, right? We had a shameless plug earlier, but literally you just come, you can just, if you're partnering with us and you're working with us, and you have a loan officer, you work with me, you come to me, we meet with Mandy, we figure out a game plan. Do you want to do an event every quarter? Like she said, that's usually the best return because you're constantly doing it. Do you just want to start out with 2 for the year? That's fine. We'll plan it out for you. We just sat down last week with one of my top agents, and we planned out a cocktail class, cocktail and mocktail, for March, right? So she brings her clients from the last couple of years that we've worked with, and it's a cool setting. It's in a house. It's just a different thing to show appreciation, right? Austin hit us up in December, said, hey, I have this listing coming in Plaza Midland in January. Me and Mandy sat with them, created the Brokers Open, brought Ariel our lovely coffee. Shout out to Ariel.
Thanks, Ariel.
We brought Alex, our awesome video guy, and Austin got to showcase that to his sellers, went under contract in one day, and then he has 15 videos from all the agents that came that Alex shot videos for, and he can go to future listings and say, hey, this is what I can do for you. And that's the best way you can get new listings from it and impress your current sellers, and it's just the best way to partner because you guys are busy doing your CRM stuff. You can say, okay, I got an event idea, I need to hit up Matt, I need to hit up Mandy, we'll do all that for you. So,
Yep.
yeah.
All right. So I think we're past 11:45. So I hope to see all of your faces in coaching. Hello, Christina Rainford. Welcome. I hope to see all of your faces in coaching. I take it seriously. It's an honor and a privilege. I have poured a lot into how I structure and think about things, and just really extract the points that are important. So if you scan that QR code, you'll get the $100 credit. If you're already in the last 60 days, DM me on school. That'll also apply to you. So, and it's me. So I have to surprise and delight, right? Because I can't possibly just leave things alone. So did you guys like the panels? Was that awesome? I love and adore all of them. So do you see too how powerful it is, the community, and being around people? It's those 5 people that you surround yourself with will really help elevate you. So do you all agree with that?
Yes.
How powerful these guys are in hearing, and the fact that they are so busy and all 8 of them took time out of their schedule. Okay? Then we look around and it's like Motivation Mortgage has come on the scene in Charlotte real estate in a big way to lift us all up. And so I'll get to the point. I'll land the plane. I'm doing what I hate when people do, so I will land the plane. So who here has heard of Robert Kiyosaki? All right. Who here has heard of David Goggins? Who here has heard of Russell Brunson? He like invented one-to-many selling. Okay. Would you like to be in a room with them?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah. Land it.
Because of all of our connections, right? So you're looking at the panel, Motivation Mortgage. You guys know that Aspire conference that's coming through on Tuesday? Yeah. So everybody, as a thank you for attending, will get an Emerald level ticket to that. No obligation, just go. And it's about what, a $900. Well, you do have to register.
It's $450.
So what is it? Yeah, so it's so this is the surprise and delight, a $500 gift for your time. Thank you for being there. And then one more thing, I will give you until 6 p.m. to sign up for coaching, and I will I love it. Gotta love it. And I will personally sit with you at the Aspire conference and go through your one-page business plan. So you have till 6 p.m. to take me up on that one.
Do it.
Yep.
Quick ask.
Yep.
Could you extend it to 9 p.m.?
Yes, we have another event. I got you. Yeah.
Just in case, someone has stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to see Anthony and Eric and I, come tonight, and then Tyler, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Hey guys, I really appreciate it. So I'll keep it short, but I really appreciate everybody coming out here. I started Motivation Mortgage 4.5 years ago. You probably didn't know us 4.5 years ago. Probably didn't hear us about us until 2 years ago. I banged my head against the wall like every other loan officer trying to figure out what the hell am I doing? How do I make realtors fall in love with me, right? It's very hard. You guys have connections. So I sat down for like 6 months and I was like, I'm not asking anybody for business. All I'm doing is saying what you need, how do I fix your problems, and how can I make your problems my problems, and then we can partner, right? And so over the 6 months that I spent that, it was the same things over and over and over again, right? It was marketing, money, right? Time and help, right? So what we do at Motivation Mortgage is we have incredible loan officers. I think a lot of times people forget we actually do mortgages. We're great at that. So my loan officers, some here, Matt's great. Like he put all this together, right? So hit up our loan officers to do your loans. They really are good. If you go look at our reviews, it's 200 and something crazy 5-star reviews, right? I say that because we're very well known for our events, right? You guys are here, you've seen us, you've been to our events, we appreciate that. But what drives us and what's allowing us to help you guys to do more, right, is to actually do the business side of things and close your loans, right? So I have 2 business partners that sit in the office every day. You probably don't see them. They don't like to get out and mingle as much as I do, but they're taking care of business every day. My loan officers are taking care of business every day. Myself and Mandy Jackson, who's amazing, guys. We do this every day, and it's fun for us, right? It's fun to see you guys succeed. It's fun when you go from 2 million to 10 million, right? That's the kind of thing that we want to be a part of. So let us be part of that journey. Who you know is everything. The reason that we have these tickets, guys, is literally networking, right? All it is meeting the right people. You never know who you're talking to. I've been told I'm very unassuming. I don't look like I own a mortgage company. I get that, right? So it's fun, right? Just never know who you're talking to. Always be polite. Always have fun. Always go into it with the best intentions, right? I truly mean that. We're very excited to have all of you come to Aspire. I'm going to put this up here. Mandy, wherever Mandy's at, also has this. But if you scan this QR code, you have to type in the code as all caps, motivation, and that will give you the ticket for free. It is a $459 or $449 value, truly for free. There's no catch. It's Tuesday. It's at the convention center. It's all day. You don't have to stay all day. It's from 7:30 to 5, but you can pop in.
Full disclosure, my ass will not be there at 7:30. I'll be there like
10:30. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. Please do not abuse this. If you really have important clients that you want to impress as well, let them know about this. Like, we are here to generate you guys more business, right? So if you haven't...
Can we say like they can invite one person?
Yeah, one person.
Okay,
right?
everybody can invite one person.
Everybody invite one person. And impress your clientele, impress your partners, right? I do want to give another shout out to everybody that sponsors. Alex is my guy from Vista Charlotte. And then we have Keen, who like has this beautiful home, right? Like, thank you for opening the doors. This is under contract. Thank you guys for wearing the booties. We have to clean this up. But Michael at M&M Waterproofing, he's the man. If you guys want to come up, we got Rain. I don't know if Jason's still here. But iTrip Martinez,
Mary Beth, where she right here at Avenue, she's the best. Spunky's not here, but Zach Liggett from Community One. Guys, this is what I mean by taking your time creating these relationships to do these events. Somebody said get sponsors. You have to. You can't do this alone. It's very expensive. You're gonna fall flat on your face and you're gonna give up, right? So all of my sponsors, thank you guys. Please raise your hands. It's amazing. Thank you guys. So have fun. Get these tickets. I'll see you on Tuesday. Go check out Eric, our guy. Go check out their event. I think Anthony,
If you're
Eric,
doing
and
round
Marissa.
2 with me, Anthony, Eric.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
The highest brewery. But thank you guys. Hey, please reach out to somebody on my team if you need help. We're happy to help. Thank you. You guys, yeah. Thanks.
So like, I didn't know how. I was like, no, she's doing this so smart, but I didn't think like going to something that's right behind me. That's what I was like, I have to make sure she knows. It's like, I liked it. You know, good job. I